you, and welcome to Hickory Community Theater in this performance of the complete works of William Shakespeare, abridged. Now, before we get underway, I have just a few brief announcements. First, we would like to thank our producers, Robert Abbey Incorporated and Steve Austin, AICP. Robert Abbey.
We love them.
I have more. Robert Abbey Incorporated, producer not just of fine community theater, but of very fine lighting. Steve Austin, AICP. As a certified planner, part of Steve's job is to put sewers in towns. Some of you chuckle, but you can look this up. With the invention of the flush toilet and installation of sanitary sewers, the overall quality of human health improved dramatically. So when Steve does his job, he's not only improving things in general, but he's improving longevity and quality of life. So let's hear it for our producers, Robert Abbey. Right now, at this point in our season, we are selling mini season 4 passes. What are these, you may ask? These are tickets to 4 shows, discounted. We all love a discount. You may think of this sort of as like a Black Friday special carried over. All right? 4 tickets to shows, you may use them at any time, so they fit with any calendar, any combination. Those pesky, unexpected relatives show up, bam, you got something to do, get them out of the house. Send them to a show. Right? Now, these are available at the bar at halftime, or intermission, as the theater people say. And, there's also a blurb about them in your program. Speaking of programs, some of you may have a K Award ballot in there. This is our equivalent of the Tony Awards. They're named after one of the founders of the theater. What you do, it's a very difficult job. You get to watch the show, have an impression of the performances, and then rate them from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. Hopefully you'll see a few of those tonight. Okay? And I should also mention our capital campaign. All right? Here's an old building. We're having a capital campaign, make some necessary improvements. You all walk downstairs to get here tonight. That narrow stairway and stuff, we're going to put in an elevator, which would be a massive improvement. It's like the seats upstairs, if you've been to a main stage show, 90-year-old seats. We're going to get something a little more comfortable, and all of them will function. This will be big. What we started is something called 2x2. We're asking and looking for 200 people to pledge $200 a year for 5 years. If we do that, we'll make our goal. Since we started doing this, at every performance of a play, we've had at least 2 people sign up. So we'd like to continue that and perhaps improve the average, if at all possible. So please, if you feel inclined to contribute, remember, no contribution too small, no contribution too large. So give with great frequency and vigor. Thank you very much. Now, as always, the use of flash photography and this recording of the show by any means, audio or video, is strictly prohibited. For your convenience, lest I forget, if you have a cell phone, please take a moment now to turn it off. Thank you. And if you have a pager, you need to get yourself a cell phone. For your convenience, toilets are located in the bathrooms. Please take a moment now to notice the exit door nearest to your seat. In the event the theater should suddenly lose pressure, oxygen mask will drop on. Simply place the mask over your mouth and nose and continue to breathe normally. If you are at the theater with a small child, please place your own mask on first and let the little bugger fend for himself. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Bob. And it gives me great pleasure to announce that we are going to attempt a feat which we believe to be unprecedented in the history of civilization. That is to capture, in a single theatrical experience, the magic, the genius, the towering grandeur of the complete works of William Shakespeare. Now, we only have an hour and a half, and this book weighs about 6 pounds, which means we have to... I have an app for this. We have to get through 8 ounces every 7 seconds, which is about 2 6-packs a minute. So we better get drinking. And there is no one who knows more about Shakespeare and alcohol than the gentleman I'm about to introduce. He is one of the world's preeminent Shakespearean scholars. He has a certificate of completion from preeminentshakespeareanscholar.com. And he is here tonight to provide the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged with a much-needed preface. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me in joining Mr. Jeff Hartman!
Thank you, Bob. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. William Shakespeare. Playwright, poet, actor, Stratford's proudest flower, transplanted from the heart of the English countryside to bask in the warmth of London's literary greenhouse. A man who, despite the ravages of male-pattern baldness, planted the potent seed of his poetical genius in the fertile womb of Elizabeth's England. There it took root, spread through the lymphatic system of Western civilization until it became the oozing carbuncle of knowledge and understanding that grows even today on the very tip of our collective consciousness. And yet, how much do we intellectually flaccid members of the 21st century appreciate the plump fruit of Shakespeare's productive loins? Let's find out, shall we? Bob, can I have the house lights, please? Now, you are a theater-going crowd, obviously of above-average cultural and literary awareness. And yet, if I may just have a brief show of hands, how many of you have ever seen or read any play by William Shakespeare? Any contact at all with art? Just raise your hands. Dude, we're screwed! They know more than we do!
You're an eminent Shakespearean scholar.
I'm preeminent.
Be preeminent.
Right. Let's see. How many of you have ever seen or read All's Well That Ends Well? Let's see if we can find out if there are any super eminent Shakespearean scholars here tonight. Has anybody ever seen or read King John? King John, anyone? Well, you have, really. Seen it or read it?
Both.
Both. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. Seen it or read it?
I downloaded it.
Would you mind telling us all what it's about?
It's about a hunchback.
No, King John is not about a hunchback, as any preeminent Shakespearean scholar can tell you. King John is not a king named John. Would you stand up, please? Ladies and gentlemen, ecce homo.
Hey,
Judging by your obvious lack of fluency in Latin, may I presume you have not matriculated?
well, not today.
Take a look at this man, ladies and gentlemen. Abandoned by our educational system, awash in a sea of sexual ambiguity, hopped up on empty kilobytes of virtual Viagra. And now, take a look at the person sitting next to you. Go ahead, look at them. Do you recognize the same vapid expression? The same poised drive for intellectual immaturity? Or perhaps do you see, keep looking. Do you see a longing there? A desperate plea for literary salvation?
Can I sit down now?
No, you stand there before us as a living symbol of our society whose capacity to comprehend, much less attain, the genius of a William Shakespeare has been systematically sodomized by soap operas, reared by reality shows, and violently violated by the women of The View. Ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, cast off the cheap thrill of the car chase for the splendor of the sonnet. Exchange the isolation of the iPad mini for the gentle idylls of the I Am. Imagine a world where manly men wear pink tights with pride.
Hallelujah!
A brave world! A world where this book ladies and gentlemen, will be found in every hotel room in the world. Can I get an amen? Amen! This is my dream, and it begins here tonight. Join us on this, our holy quest, our Shakespearean jihad. Can I get an amen? Amen! 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 Oh, thank you, Jesus!
Hallelujah.
On with the show, and may the bard be with you.
And also with you.
Those of you who own a copy of this book know that no collection is complete without a brief biography of the life of William Shakespeare. Providing this portion of the show tonight will be the third member of the troupe. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Tim Bolick!
Didn't I? Okay, so I was Googling Shakespeare and I came up with some really amazing stuff. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in the town of Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire. The third of 8 children, he was the eldest son of John Shakespeare, a locally prominent merchant, and Mary Arden, daughter of a Roman. Catholic member of the landed gentry. In 1582, Shakespeare married a farmer's daughter named Anne Hathaway.
Different Anne Hathaway.
That's a shame. Shakespeare arrived in London in 1588. There he dictated to his secretary, Rudolf Hess, the work Mein Kampf, in which he set forth his program for the restoration of Germany to a dominant position in Europe. After reoccupying the Rhineland zone between France and Germany and annexing Austria, the Sudetenland, and the remainder of Czechoslovakia, Shakespeare invaded Poland on September 1st, 1920, thus precipitating World War II. I never knew that.
Wrap it up.
Shakespeare remained in Berlin when the Russians entered the city and committed suicide with his mistress Eva Perón. He lies buried in the church at Stratford, though his head is frozen in a holding tank in Glendale, California. Thank you.